What's going on with us? Oh, not much. Just historic levels of illegals coming across the border, multiple states running out of gas, 2008 levels of inflation, the Middle East exploding, and we have a president who's constantly napping an MIA. What's going on with you? Did you see the Hadid sisters popping off about Palestine? Demi Lovato getting a show about aliens? Ellen DeGeneres is ending her show, and then Chrissy Teigen telling 16-year-olds to kill themselves on Twitter? No? Oh, well, welcome to the circus. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics. So you might have seen the Hadid sisters, Dua Lipa, and more celebs posting anti-Israel and pro-Palestine propaganda over the last couple days. Here's what's going on, and I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet because the Middle East conflict stuff could be an hour-long show on its own. The people of Israel want to live in peace. They want Palestinians to live in peace. In fact, Israel is the only place where Muslims, Jews, and Christians are equal under the law. The rest of the Middle East, and in particular Hamas, hates that.
Do you have a less violent menu I could take a look at? I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want some food.
Israel has always been willing to give up land in order to have peace with the Palestinians. All the Palestinians have to do is recognize Israel as a Jewish state, but they absolutely refuse to do it. In 2000, Israel actually agreed to give the Palestinians a sovereign state and 95% of the West Bank, but the Palestinians refused to accept the offer and instead sent Israel tons of suicide terrorists.
Hey, it's the mailman!
Hey, fellas!
Isn't it Sunday?
Then in 2006, Israel disengaged from Gaza and told the Israeli citizens living there that they had to leave because they wanted to trade land for peace. Hamas ended up winning that election and immediately started shooting rockets into Israel.
This video, filmed by the Islamic Jihad members who claimed responsibility, is allegedly of the actual rocket firing.
The simple fact of the matter is the Palestinian rulers and Hamas want the other side dead. It's a super complicated and complex issue, but if you want to dive in more, I recommend listening to Dennis Prager or Ben Shapiro's breakdowns of the Israel stuff.
Why does everything have to be so complicated?
And for these celebrities like the Hadids and others to say things like, if you're passionate about LGBTQ rights or women's rights, then you need to be pro-Palestine, they should take a trip to Israel and go to a gay pride parade in Tel Aviv. And then they should take a trip to Gaza and see what happens if you even try to wave a rainbow flag there. Spoiler alert, you'll get your head chopped off.
Oh, hell no!
Moral of the story, these celebrities are nuts. They are seeing the Palestinians and thinking that they're oppressed and that Israel is the oppressor, but never mention the multiple wars started by the Palestinian government for decades against Israel. Don't expect this issue to be solved anytime soon either, because as long as Biden continues to fund the Palestinian government in the West Bank with your tax dollars, this ain't ending.
Taxes, beautiful, lovely taxes.
Guess who's back? Back again. Peacock is giving Demi Lovato a show about UFOs.
Basically, space aliens.
They're saying the show is called Unidentified with Demi Lovato and will show Demi, her friend Matthew, and her sister Dallas visiting UFO hotspots, talking to people who claim to have had encounters with aliens, and uncovering secret government reports, according to the New York Post.
Aliens!
Why do they think we want this? Why is Demi hosting this? It's so random.
Please don't do this.
Maybe it's because she's an alien. Ooh. I don't want a show about UFOs hosted by Demetrius Lavatrius, but I do want a show about UFOs hosted by Poot. You know why? Poot looks like a credible source. If I met her, the first thing I think was, you know what? This looks like someone who's been sucked up into the sky and had their butt touched by little green men.
I come in peace.
I know exactly what an alien encounter show hosted by Demi Lovato would look like, and so do you. One of the scariest moments for me was when I looked around the ship and noticed the lack of diversity. Everyone was green, everyone was thin. And this is the hardest part to share, but I know it's important and I want to raise awareness. They were eating sugar-free frozen yogurt. Ellen DeGeneres is officially canceling The Ellen Show. The announcement coming less than a year after I predicted it, by the way.
I'm kind of psychic. I have a fifth sense.
Ellen says it's because the show isn't a challenge anymore and that it has nothing to do with her poisoned brand image and reputation of being a tyrant to work with.
But is it really? Is that up for debate?
Allegedly, Ellen was planning on leaving the show around now anyways, way before the scandals, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, well, it's too late now.
Yeah.
Supposedly, they're looking at Kelly Clarkson to potentially take her slot.
I have suffered enough.
Now, you may or may not know who Courtney Stodden is. Let me remind you, about 10 years ago, give or take, she was all over the tabloids because she was like 16, and her parents said that she could marry this 50-something-year-old guy named Doug. And then, Doug and Courtney got a reality TV show. She had massive fake boobs, looked like Anna Nicole Smith, and was constantly harassed online by celebrities.
I got down on my knees, and I said, send me an angel. Please.
They say they met online and quickly developed an emotional connection. At first, Doug says he had no idea she was just a teenager.
When you found out, how did you feel?
Well, you can imagine, my world turned upside down. Because
the shock factor.
Did
that make you want to walk away?
It didn't make me want to walk away, but it definitely was a struggle inside my heart at that point in time because I had already started falling for her.
All the while, Courtney's mom, Krista, had been monitoring their exchanges, fully aware that Doug had decades over her young daughter.
Yeah, big yikes. But one of the people who treated and tweeted her the worst was Trump hater Chrissy Teigen. In fact, Courtney revealed this week that she frequently was told by Chrissy Teigen to kill herself and that Chrissy couldn't wait till she died.
That's horrible.
Of course, Chrissy is one of the top people on Twitter and for the last 4 years kept a permanent place on her soapbox where she lamented about how morally bankrupt President Trump was.
Pot kettle.
Obviously, these old tweets go against Twitter's rules, but will Twitter ban Chrissy off the platform forever?
Of course not.
On Thursdays, we like to throw it back to see what happened this week in pop culture history. This is your Pop Culture Rewind. This week in 1939, Batman made his first ever comic book appearance in Detective Comics issue 27.
You wanted me. Here I am.
Also in 1977 this week, the goat, or should I say mouse, came into existence. The first Chuck E. Cheese was founded in San Jose, California.
Company executives claim that within 10 years, Chuck E. Cheese will be more popular than Mickey Mouse.
That song is making me very dizzy.
You want a more traditional approach, Big C?
I certainly do, yes.
Like what?
Like happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. You get it?
Got it. This week in 1986, Top Gun was released in theaters.
Top Gun. I feel the need for speed.
For 5 weeks, you're gonna fly against the best fighter pilots in the world.
You guys really are cowboys.
Then in 1998 this week, Unsolved Mysteries, one of my favorite true crime series ever, came to an end. It was between this and Rescue 911 for me as a kid. That's what I was watching.
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, the story of newlywed Shannon Davis, who died in a riding accident. Shannon's husband had purchased secret insurance policies totaling $330,000.
And that's this week's Pop Culture Rewind. Hit the heart button. Tell me what you think about the Hadid sisters' anti-Israel posts and Courtney Stodden calling out Chrissy for her bad Twitter behavior. Do me a favor, please post this episode to your stories. Hit that save button as well. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics. Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.